To successfully cross the southern tier, there is a lot of things I'm going to need to do to prepare. The first is determining and figuring out which bike I was going to use. Back in 2015, I biked across the state of New York, starting in Rochester and then heading west towards Buffalo, and then doubling back east towards Albany and then New York City, a total distance of approximately 400 miles or 640 kilometers in approximately 2 weeks. In contrast, the southern tier in total, according to the ACA guide, is 3,041 miles, or nearly 8 times the distance. What I've learned from experience is that the longer a bike tour is, the more essential having the proper bike becomes. With its front suspension and large tires, my Trail 7 was both extremely heavy and stiff to ride under load. In contrast, a touring bike, as the name suggests, is designed both to carry cargo and to travel long distances. I had done some research beforehand, but I wanted to get more information. Secondly, and something I alluded to in previous videos, was to help make my trip more pleasant at the offset, I had to begin conditioning myself for longer and longer rides. As such, a good helmet and a set of bike shorts were important starting points in that regard. With that said, I made my way down the east side to the REI in Lower Manhattan. What are you working on, if I may ask?
Rear derailleur.
Derailleur?
Yeah, rear derailleur. So the bike's not shifting properly.
Oh.
Yeah, as he's pedaling, it's making some noise, so we're trying to...
I had a Cannondale Trail 7 that had chronic issues with its rear derailleur. I bought it up in Alaska, and 9 months as a daily driver, and that derailleur. So I'm trying to figure out what to use as a touring bike. I know REI has the decent ADV 1.1s. I also have heard the long haul trucker's another one. So I'm mostly trying to figure out where to start, and I also want to get a good set of biking shorts today and a helmet.
Yeah. To the Salsa Marrakesh as well.
The Salsa Marrakesh?
Yeah, Marrakesh. It's a really good tour. It's a beautiful frame, and REI supplies.
Yeah. What I'm probably going to do is determine what bike I want, because I've got no place to store one. I know a lot of people like converting hardtails, but I'm thinking a dedicated touring bike's the way to go here. Any advice on?
Do you need use of all basically front and rear panniers? Like, are you looking to have both?
I like it. I made it work with the Trail 7, which I could only mount rear, and it was not happy with that. You know, with the tent, equipment. I was pretty full. I think the bike was about 60 pounds.
Having a touring bike will kind of give you that option of mounting a front rack to it.
We spoke at length about the various touring bikes and other options that REI and other vendors offer. REI itself has its own brand of bikes known as the Co-op Cycles and the ADV series, which is meant for touring. Specifically, the ADV 1.1, 3.1, and the 3.2. The 1.1 was one of the first bikes I looked at in depth, and the REI website describes it as a road touring bicycle. In short, it has a fairly narrow but large wheelbase, which is excellent for riding on roads and narrow shoulders. Furthermore, it has a set of 30 gears, making climbing steep grades considerably easier than they would be otherwise. Additionally, it comes with racks and mounting points pre-installed for fitting panniers and other equipment onto the bike. The major downside is its narrow wheelbase. It's less capable on gravel and dirt trails due to this. The 3.1, on the other hand, is a brother to the 1.1 that addresses the off-road capability with its own trade-offs. In its place, it has a larger wheelbase and is better suited for off-pavement riding due to wider tires. The frame is also somewhat lighter at 27 pounds versus the 32.5 pounds of the 1.1, and it uses mechanical disc brakes instead of the hydraulic ones that are on the 1.1. Unlike the 1.1, it does not include racks as a factory install, nor does it include a low hill climb gear, topping out at only 20 gears. In short, its trade-off is it's better at gravel handling versus the better road performance of the 1.1. Meanwhile, the 3.2 is a slightly more advanced version of the 1.1. Primarily, it's a switch from a steel frame to aluminum, bringing the total weight of the bike down to a mere 25 pounds, as well as having the same hydraulic brakes as found on the 1.1. Another option suggested to me was the Salsa Marrakesh. The Marrakesh has a lot of features I find appealing, Like the ADV 1.1, it comes with a full set of racks built into the frame, but unlike the ADV bikes, the Marrakesh is able to mount wider tires up to 29 by 2 inches, which makes it easier to retrofit for off-road usage while still retaining the stronger frame and full mounts that are characteristic of touring bikes. The major downside to this bike is it's pushing the upper edges of my budget. Last but not least is the Surly Bikes Long Haul Trucker, a bike I had heard secondhand about and very good reviews online. The frame comes in two versions, one that mounts standard 26-inch wheels and another that takes 700C tires just like the ADV 1.1. Surly recommends that one visits one of their dealerships to be fitted for one of their bikes for exact sizing needs. There are at least 2 shops in New York City that have the Long Haul Trucker, and I'll be inspecting it in person in the days to come. So, after a couple of fittings, I found a good pair of bike shorts and anti-chaff cream, which will definitely make all the difference when I start riding more and more. Now, I just need to find a good helmet. Okay, I think my eyebrows are in fact moving. This feels like a good fit, doesn't pinch. I think we have our helmet. Well, I'm pleased to say, mission accomplished. I got a helmet, I got everything I was looking for, and now we can start the next step of this great adventure.